There are a ton of fascinating historic ruins around the world, from cities in disrepair to temples that have endured the test of time. Numerous of these prehistoric communities were very inventive and progressive. Just look at their precise city planning and amazing engineering achievements, some of which we still don't completely comprehend. Even the most curious person's mind will be left in a state of utter confusion by some of the most fascinating ancient ruins. Number 25. Ayutthaya. Ayutthaya is a historical city that was first established as a Khmer military and commerce center about the year 1350. It didn't take long for this booming trading port to become Thailand's first capital. Up until the time of the Burmese invasion, it retained this title for 4 centuries. The majority of the city's temples and artifacts were destroyed because so many of them were made of wood. Only about 50 stone monuments and temples that were destroyed by fire are still standing. It has been a common day trip from Bangkok to explore the Siamese, Sri Lankan, and Khmer architecture of Ayutthaya since repairs began in the 1970s. Number 24. Stonehenge. One of the most well-known ancient monuments in the world, Stonehenge is scattered across the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England. These strange stone rings are among the planet's oldest stone constructions, dating back more than 5,000 years. They were carved out of sandstone and are shrouded in mystery. It is still mostly unknown who constructed them and why. According to 2 well-known theories, Stonehenge was used for religious ceremonies or in some other way to track the positions of the sun and moon. Stonehenge may be explored in under 2 hours, thus trips from London are frequently coupled with trips to Windsor or Bath. Number 23. Mesa Verde. Mesa Verde National Park, with its amazing collection of 600 old cliff-top houses, is located deep in the American Southwest. The Cliff Palace is the most well-known of these residences. It was constructed into a sizable sandstone alcove that has provided it with protection from the weather for more than 7 centuries. The palace comprised about 150 rooms and 23 sacred kivas, making it the biggest of its sort in North America. The other houses only had a few rooms for household use. These remarkable cliffside communities had been inhabited for about a century before they were abruptly abandoned in the 13th century. Number 22. Sigiriya. Sri Lanka's Sigiriya is a historic fortification that has been carved into a 200-meter steep rock wall. The magnificent ruins of an ancient civilization, supposed to be the capital of the Kingdom of Kasapa, are located atop what is today known as Lion Rock. In its prime, it had a citadel, a mirror wall covered in gorgeous, vibrant murals, and a lion-shaped entryway. The capital was abandoned and converted into a Buddhist monastery after the king's death. The vistas of the ramparts, terraced gardens, and cave shrines will make the ascent to the summit of Sigiriya worthwhile, even though it is not for the faint of heart. Number 21. Masada. One of the most spectacular archaeological sites on the earth is the ancient stronghold of Masada. The location is eerily gorgeous. It is perched on a cliff top in Israel with views of the Dead Sea and the Judean desert. It was constructed as King Herod's palace and has a long history. It had contemporary amenities including a bathhouse and even private swimming pools. More notably, the massive structure witnessed the Jewish revolt's final stand, where the rebels choose death to a life of Roman enslavement. The sights are worth the arduous climb up one of the two routes in the scorching sun. Number 20. Hampi. Hampi was among the wealthiest cities in India and was the second largest medieval city after Beijing. Temples and imperial palaces formerly adorned this once thriving hub of the Karnataka Empire, but today all that is left are its dilapidated remains. The old capital was established in the 14th century by two lords as a straightforward riverside religious site. Highlights include the main temple with its strange-looking sea monster carvings, the House of Victory, the Vithala temple with its stone chariot and musical pillars, and the temple that functioned as the royal family's private place of worship. Number 19. Pompeii. Near the Italian city of Naples are the eerie ruins of Pompeii. Over 2,000 people lost their lives when the famous Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, destroying the Roman city in waves of lava. The 1950s accidental discovery of the ancient city hidden behind volcanic rock is astonishingly well maintained. However, it wasn't properly excavated until 2 decades later. The streets of these ancient Roman remains allow you to stroll through the town's heyday. Stone houses, temples, bakeries, and even a brothel have left behind their ruins. Number 18. Tulum. The Tulum ruins are the remains of a historic Mayan clifftop citadel located a couple of hours' drive from Cancun. The views are breathtaking, with a fourth side that is open to the Caribbean Sea and 3 sides that are walled. Tulum, which has a history dating back to 564 AD, reached its zenith in the 13th and 14th centuries. It served as a significant center for the trade of cocoa, cotton, and jade. Visit the stunning mural inside the Temple of the Frescoes and have a swim at Tulum's undiscovered beach, which is bordered by palm trees and sun-lounging iguanas, in addition to the city's main feature, the El Castillo Pyramid. Number 17. Ephesus. The ancient city of Ephesus, one of the most stunning Greek and Roman remains on Earth, is located in western Turkey. It previously housed the well-known Temple of Artemis, which dates back more than 2,000 years. But the level of immersion that these ruins provide is what really sets them apart. In contrast to many other archaeological sites that are protected, you are allowed to touch, stand on, and stroll through the entire city. A number of historic public restrooms, the Library of Celsus, and Hadrian's Temple are highlights. The Great Theatre of Ephesus, the largest outdoor theater in ancient times, has 25,000 seats and is located there. Number 16. Ellora Caves. The Ellora Caves are a collection of cliffside caves, monasteries, and temples built of basalt. Only 34 of 100 caves are accessible to the general public. Ellora, which is in Maharashtra, India, was created over the course of 5 centuries by Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain monks. It dates back to 600 AD. The Kailasa Temple is the Ellora Cave's main attraction. It is the world's largest monolithic sculpture and is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Another noteworthy site is the enormous Buddha who is preaching in the Carpenter's Cave, so named because the rock resembles polished wood. Number 15. Terracotta Army. The magnificent collection of thousands of life-size soldiers and horses known as the Terracotta Warriors. There are 600 or so subterranean pits in Xi'an, China, that date to the 3rd century BC. When residents dug for a well point in the 1970s, they unintentionally discovered them. 3 of these pits are accessible to the public and housed inside the Terracotta Army Museum, however many are still not fully excavated. The remarkable thing about these clay soldiers, aside from their overwhelming quantity, is that each and every face is distinct. They required a combined 40 years of craftsmanship and were hand-carved with unique features. Number 14. Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza, one of the most well-known archaeological monuments on Earth, was a bustling city on the Yucatan Peninsula. When Mayapan replaced Tikal as the region's capital in 1221, the Mayan city of 600 AD was abandoned. Highlights include the Temple of Kukulkan, a massive stone pyramid with 365 steps for every day of the year and 4 staircases that depict a compass. The equinoxes in spring or fall are the greatest times to visit since the sun illuminates the pyramid staircases. The Ball Court, the Wall of Skulls, and the sacred cenote, where human sacrifice used to take place, are additional must-see locations. Number 13. Acropolis. The Acropolis, which is capped by the Parthenon, is visible from every part of the city from its vantage point above Athens. The Acropolis was initially constructed and occupied by Pericles in the 5th century BC and later developed into a city of temples. These constructions from antiquity were made of marble and bronze, and some of them even had gold plating. Scaffolding is still in place because restorations are still being done, so don't be startled. This is worth seeing while you're here because the Acropolis Museum now houses many of the original artifacts. Number 12. Bagan. Myanmar's enchanting temple town of Bagan is an age-old city. In its heyday, it had around 10,000 temples, monasteries, shrines, pagodas, and stupas. This place served as the capital of a significant kingdom during the 11th and the 13th centuries. Since then, natural disasters, negligence, and Mongol invasions have caused these holy places to degrade. There are only 2,000 temple remains left, which are dispersed across the horizon. While it is possible to walk through the archaeological zone, it is best to view the overwhelming number of temples from the air. A trip in a hot air balloon over Bagan should be on your bucket list. Number 11. Tikal. Seeing the ruins of Tikal is a genuinely unique experience because of the way that its gray temple tops stick out from the dense jungle canopy in Guatemala. These far-off remains are littered with pyramids, temples, and palaces and are a well-liked day trip from Flores. Tikal, one of Mesoamerica's major archaeological sites, was once the biggest and most powerful Mayan city around 600 AD. While you're here, don't forget to visit the Temple of the Two-Headed Snake. Climbing to the summit of one of the tallest pre-Columbian buildings in the Western Hemisphere will reward you with breathtaking 360-degree views of the jungle and beyond. Number 10. Karnak. Due to its immense scale, the Karnak temple complex in Luxor, Egypt, is stunning. There are several temples, obelisks, and shrines scattered around the area, which is larger than most ancient cities. Each Egyptian pharaoh left their unique architectural stamp during the more than 2,000 years it took to construct. The Great Hypostyle Hall is located after passing past the Avenue of Sphinxes. One of the most well-known and popular tourist destinations in ancient Egypt is this huge space that is surrounded by massive sandstone columns and pylons. Visit the sacred lake and the surrounding granite scarab while you're here to view them. Number 9. Borobudur. The largest Buddhist temple in the world is called Borobudur, located in Indonesia. It was built out of an amazing 2 million slabs of volcanic stone. It dates back to the 9th century and finally fell into ruin before being rediscovered in the 19th century. It has since been brought back to its previous splendor and is especially well-liked around dawn. 6 square platforms with 3 circular platforms on top make up the Borobudur monument. The realm of forms, the world of formlessness, and the 3 levels of the Buddhist cosmology are steps on the journey to enlightenment. It is embellished with more than 2,000 reliefs and 500 statues of Buddha, each of which outlines a Buddhist doctrine. Number 8. Teotihuacan. One of the most well-known Aztec archaeological sites is Teotihuacan, which is situated on the outskirts of present-day Mexico City. But it wasn't truly constructed by the Aztecs. Despite numerous possibilities, no one can definitively say who did. However, when the Aztecs found the deserted city, they gave it their name and claimed it as their own. It once held the title of greatest city in the Western Hemisphere and was the location of numerous residential complexes and pyramids. The Temple of the Sun and the Temple of the Moon, 2 of its recognizable pyramids, are currently the main attractions. Visit the Citadel and the Temple of the Feathered Serpent while strolling through the Avenue of the Dead. Number 7. Moai statues. The Moai statues on Easter Island in Polynesia are famous, with the tallest weighing more than 80 tons. In fact, even if you've never heard of them, you'll probably be able to identify them from a picture. Between 400 and 1500 AD, the Rapa Nui people carved these more than 800 figures from volcanic ash, the most of which look away from the sea. Each of these massive monolithic figures would have taken close to a year to construct and was probably built using crude basalt stone picks. There are a number of hypotheses as to why they were constructed, including the idea that it would enhance the soil and serve as a method to memorialize significant clan ancestors. Number 6. Colosseum. The Colosseum was a historical gladiator arena and one of the most recognizable Roman ruins. The 50,000-seat amphitheater, which was unveiled in 80 AD, hosted a variety of events. These featured death-defying gladiator contests and animal fights that involved bloodlust. Even by today's standards, the Colosseum's architecture is remarkable. The 3 levels of archways that make up the exterior walls are topped with Ionic, Doric, and Corinthian columns. They were adorned with marble statues during their heyday. And large awning that protected spectators from the elements previously supported the top level. Number 5. Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is the world's longest man-made structure, spanning 15 provinces and autonomous territories in China. It was constructed throughout the course of 6 Chinese dynasties as a fortification against invaders and is made up of many individual sections of walls and moats. Some of the wall's remaining pieces are in ruins and are now well over 2,000 years old. It's interesting to note that it would take a person about 18 months to traverse the whole length of the Great Wall of China. Number 4. Petra. A long time ago, nomads created the rose city of Petra out of the pink sandstone cliffs in the middle of the desert. It's difficult to imagine that the Jordanian city, which is nestled between the Red Sea and the Dead Sea, formerly had lush gardens, magnificent homes, and lively markets. Instead, abandoned tunnels, temples, and tombs buried within the city walls can be found by taking a stroll or a camel ride amid Petra's ruins. One of the most stunning sights in the old city is the 2-story treasury cut into the rock face. Even only the outside is worth seeing, but the interior with its Indiana Jonesy royal tomb is quite interesting. Number 3. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu, one of the most well-known cities of the old Incan Empire, is a major item crossed off the list of places to see. The Peruvian mountains conceal this ancient fortification. In fact, it was so securely disguised that when Spanish invaders arrived in the 1500s, they never discovered it. Only unintentionally were they found in 1911 by an American adventurer by the name of Bingham. A marvel of modern architecture, 60% of the building was likely built underground, mostly for drainage and fortification. These fortified ruins are currently only accessible on foot or by train. For an inside glimpse at the Inca's lost city, don't miss the Machu Picchu Museum. Number 2. Angkor. Between the 9th to the 15th century, Angkor served as the imperial capital of the Khmer Empire. The city is now most known for the Hindu Angkor Wat Temple, which holds the record for being the biggest place of worship on earth. It is renowned for being visited around daybreak because of the stunning sunlight above the temples. Apart from Angkor Wat, the Angkor Archaeological Park contains a lot more amazing sights. The woodland, rice fields, and farmlands are home to more than 1,000 temples. Highlights include the 12th century Bayon Temple, which designates the historical center of the ancient city of Angkor Thom, and the jungle-covered Tomb Raider Temple, which has trees sprouting out of its ruins. Number 1. Giza. The pyramids of Giza in Cairo are among the most enigmatic historic structures on Earth. Many theories exist on how these gigantic tombs, built during the 4th dynasty of ancient Egypt, were constructed. They represent yet another amazing engineering achievement by the ancient Egyptians with such minute and flawless workmanship. Over the years, tomb robbers have targeted these structures because they were utilized as burial chambers and were filled with valuables the pharaoh could use in the afterlife. Don't forget to take a picture with the Sphinx while you're kissing her. It's practically required. Please leave a comment of other places you would like to visit. Please like and subscribe to see more.